What is going on, everybody? We are back and better than ever. We got Robbie here. We got Cyrus here. We got everybody to give you a massive announcement. And that is that Amla Green Coffee is here. We can't wait to tell you about it. We cannot wait. Welcome, guys. How you doing? Good to see you both.
Good to see you, Corey.
Corey, your energy, I think, could you just raise it a little bit? I feel like you're kind of dull today. Maybe just bring it up.
Hey, you know, this is the true me. This is what you get 100% of the time. And believe it or not, folks, we have two Ironmen on this stinking call. Mm-hmm. And one of them was donned an Ironman back in 2012. That's little old me. But up here, this guy just finished his Ironman. Robbie, talk to us. Welcome to the fraternity.
Corey, it feels good to be in the club. As you know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. And once you cross that finish line, it's something you'll have in your back pocket for the rest of life.
Less than 0.1% of the population has completed the 140.6 mile run that you and I completed.
And Michael, let's go, baby. Let's go.
Way to go, man.
Corey, I know it's not necessarily part of the announcement today, but I do want to say part of my fueling was Amla Green every morning.
Yes.
Amla Green every morning. It's something that helps with blood glucose management. Like the power of Indian gooseberries is something to behold. And we have met the request of many people today. And it's a big announcement.
Do you think anybody's ever done an entire Ironman drinking nothing but coffee the entire time?
That would be a horrible coffee. That would be a horrible choice. Okay, for multiple reasons.
And you're like, oh, terrible idea. Why did I do this?
You're like, listen, I know I have 140 average heart rate for 16 hours, but I'd love to just add an extra 40 beats per minute just for fun. You know, like give me a break.
Oh, no. Give me 1,000 milligrams of caffeine. Who cares?
Stop it. But Robbie, I'm going to blow your mind right now. I saw your time. Okay. I'm not going to share your time with everyone because that's personal, but you and I were within 1 minute of each other.
That's amazing. Please share it, Corey. Why are we hiding this information?
I don't know what it was like 11
hours, 44 minutes and 9 seconds.
Mine was 11:45. Yeah.
I missed qualifying world championships by 1 minute and 6 seconds. So let's see, we're going to fix that in November.
Yes, you're doing it again. All
Absolutely.
right.
And Michael's doing another one too. So maybe Michael can try doing the whole Ironman on nothing but coffee. Maybe we'll have to sponsor you.
If you do, we got you covered. We've got the product right here. All right, listen, today's all about coffee, everybody. If you know anything about the Amla berry and the Indian gooseberry, as Robbie just said, you know that it is a superfood. So what we have come up with, what the guys have come up with and launched is superfood coffee. All right. Yeah. Now, today we're doing two things. We're going to give you some info on coffee. We're not just going to talk about our product. We're going to talk about coffee in general. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to give you something. And Bess is our producer. She's pulling up some great graphics. And I really want to leave this up while we go into some of the benefits of combining Amla Green with coffee. In addition to that, I want to give you some cool questions we're going to get into just about coffee. And I want you guys to be able to ask us questions as well. We're going to tell you how to get the product. If you stay tuned to the end, I'm going to give you a ridiculous deal. But ultimately, what I want you to do is go get your free coffee guide. You can use Amla Green coffee in it. That's what we would prefer. But if you're currently drinking coffee and you have your Amla Green, powder, tea powder as it is, then you're set, right? So you do not have to have Amla Green superfood coffee for this guide, but it is preferred. Bess, can you put that URL up at the bottom so people can, actually, I'm sorry, there is no URL. It's even easier. I'm insane. This is crazy.
Look at that comment from Renee. I currently mix my Amla in my coffee every day, so this will be perfect. I guarantee there's a lot of people who are in the same boat.
And you can't get enough. Like you can't overdose, Renee, on Amla. You can't. You're going to be just fine. We're going to talk about that in a second. Just comment coffee, guys. If you comment with the word coffee, we will send you the free coffee guide. Bess, do you have the guide to put up so we can show them some of these recipes? If you don't, it's okay. I'll get it to you. but if you do, let's put it up right now.
By the way,
All right,
these are some tasty recipes. These are some real tasty recipes.
yes, and these, okay, there it is. So we're calling them coffee recipes, but better. So they're coffee recipes you might have seen before, but these are all whole food, plant-based coffee recipes. Let's just keep going. That's telling us about Amla Green. Okay, so like pumpkin spice latte. Let's just stay there for a second. Bess, can you make that bigger? Can you zoom in on that bad boy? So,
yeah.
Just like who was that? That was Renee that said that? She combines them?
Yep.
Yep, right.
Okay, so yeah, she's using the pumpkin product. All right, cool. Okay, so comment with the word coffee. We'll hook you up. Okay, Bess, let's take everything out. Let's talk about coffee. And I have a question for you two gentlemen. The question is, how was coffee originally discovered? You might not know this, so give me your best guess. I'm going to tell you because I have the answer.
Was coffee originally discovered?
Just make it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say that there was a family walking through the forest back in the 2000 BC, and they came across a bush and they were like, huh, I'm really hungry. Let me take this thing and light it on fire. And then they did, and they ate the remnants of the coffee and were like, wow, I'm super energized right now. I want to do this again. Terrible answer. I have no idea.
Okay. Robbie, any ideas? No, it's okay.
You know, that was a pretty good answer. I'm gonna say it was on accident in a laboratory. I'm gonna say 2500 BC, and the person, like Cyrus said, like they drank it, they all of a sudden like they got all this energy, and they were like, "Wow, I need to tell my friends about this," and it just went bonkers.
I do want to point out that you said in a laboratory in 2500 BC. Is that correct? They had
yes, that's 100% correct. Yes.
Okay.
They were wearing a white toga or something.
Okay, folks. The legend of coffee was discovered back in the 9th century Ethiopia, where a goat herder named Kaldi observed his goats becoming quite energetic after eating red berries from a certain tree. Curious, he tried the berries himself and experienced a newfound burst of energy, leading to the birth of coffee as we know it. Now,
wait, you're saying homeboy ate the coffee beans directly without grinding them or steeping them in water?
Well, Cyrus, I'm not a historian, but I am a good Google searcher, and my information on this topic is fairly limited. However, what I would like to do is come to you and find out how the discovery on making coffee came about, because both of you gentlemen are gentlemen who, you know, like to listen to your audience. And Robbie, I think there was a couple questions asked and we had an overwhelming response. Is that correct?
That is exactly what happened.
Okay. So let us know in the comments, guys. How do you consume your coffee? If you consume it. Yeah, Cyrus.
Yeah, so so as you guys know, Amla Green originally started out as a tea brand, and you know it will always be a tea brand. But as we were, trying to communicate to people about the power of Indian gooseberry in reducing blood glucose and blood pressure and cholesterol, people kept on asking us a question. Well, do you make it into coffee? Can I find it in a coffee? How can I do it? Can I add it to my coffee? Where can I get this? And we were like, huh, what an interesting idea. Like, tea is very effective. What if we were to put it into a coffee? So we kept on hearing over and over and over, and we asked the audience directly. Probably a lot of you guys may have responded, and we were like, do you guys want a coffee? If you want a coffee, we could basically make the world's first superfood coffee. So it took us the better part of a year to figure out exactly how to do it. Where are we going to source the beans? How are we going to do it? How much are we going to put in? Where are we going to source it from? Yada, yada, yada. And we are now proud to say that we created the world's first superfood coffee that now is Arabica coffee beans, which are very good tasting coffee, by the way, mixed with organic Amla berries. And the combination of the two of them is ridiculously tasty. So you get the benefits of Amla berries along with the experience of coffee. It's the best of both worlds.
Okay, excellent. Our next question is, was coffee once a food instead of a drink? Was coffee once a food instead of a drink? You know,
it was food for the goat, Corey.
It is actually, from what I found in early history, coffee beans were not brewed and mixed. But they were not brewed, but they were mixed with some sort of animal fat, which is like, oh my, to create coffee balls that were consumed as a snack by African tribes. Did you know that?
Wow.
I mean, welcome to things that you don't know. Welcome to useless information provided by Amla Green.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
But Corey, I will tell you, there is some useful information. Tracy's writing in the chat box how, wow, I just like Renee. She used to do the same thing. We heard this over and over again. People put Amla in their, like, now it's just convenient. It also saves you money when you just buy one.
Yeah, it does. I personally like to flavor it. Like, I love making it a pumpkin spice latte. I like the elderberry taste. And again, guys, if you hang out, I'm gonna reveal this crazy deal here in a second. Anyone that goes through and buys coffee right now, I'm just gonna tell you. Anyone that buys coffee right now, and you can find out how to bulk up and save. If you get, 4, you save, I think it's 30%. If you get 6, you save 40%. And then there's 20% on a pack of 2. So you decide how much you want to save. And if you subscribe, you save an additional 10% more. But the big thing is anybody that purchases coffee today will also get 50% off their choice of one of these. And these are 90-day supplies, guys. So if you're a heavy coffee drinker, you want to just add anything to your cart and you'll be good to go. So let's talk about the difference. Like you said, we talked about food. Cyrus, what is it about this that makes it an actual superfood? Is it the antioxidants? How do you explain the superfood side of this?
Okay, so my parents grew up in India, in Bombay. And when you go to India and you travel around and you just, eat Indian cuisine, amla berries are kind of all over the place. It's almost like you can't escape them, right? It's in the Ayurvedic philosophy. They use amla berries for practically everything, whether you're living with diabetes or you can't think straight or you got bitten by a snake. They're like, here, amla berries, have amla berries. Here, more amla. You're like, come on, man. Like, what is this? Some kind of ridiculous cure-all, right? But they discovered many thousands of years ago that amla berries can be applied to you topically, literally like on your skin. You can put it on your fingernails. You can put it into your hair. And you can actually put it into your mouth. And no matter which route you put it on, there are benefits that come along with it. You can improve the quality of your skin. You can actually get thicker, darker hair growth. You can actually improve the quality of your gums and your teeth. I kid you not. And when you ingest it, you get lower blood glucose, lower blood pressure, and lower cholesterol. Not in 100% of all cases, but it happens frequently. So when I started researching this stuff when I was in graduate school back in the call it 2012 and beyond, I was blown away because I thought that this was it sounded like folklore to me. And then when I actually read the science behind it, I was like, is this real? Like, first of all, is this real? Second of all, why does nobody talk about this stuff? So finally, I decided that I was going to go experiment around with it. And I went to the Indian grocery stores and I got the freeze-dried version and the drink version and the grounded version and the frozen version. And I started eating amla berries and I was like, oh, these things are horrendous. Now I understand why nobody really wants to talk about these things, because they're just too hard to eat. So I took it upon myself to actually create something that tasted good. And hence Amla green tea was born, right? So you take the power of the Indian gooseberry, you make it taste good, and then you provide it to people so that they can actually have it in a sustainable manner. You put it into your drink, you drink a glass of tea once a day, and you get these ridiculous benefits that come along with it. So the science is there, the historical philosophy has been there for a long period of time, and the results from real human beings are there. It's a triple whammy. Yeah. Okay, so if you haven't integrated amla into your diet, that is totally cool. If you're a coffee drinker, now's a great opportunity to do so. If you're a tea drinker, cool, go for it. Either way, I think you guys are really going to enjoy it if you've never had it before.
I want to address a question by Sylvia. Sylvia said, hey, listen, when I opt in to the guide, it only takes me to the landing page to purchase coffee. And that's true. That's doing exactly what we wanted to do for you, because if you check your email, Sylvia, the guide will already be there for you. So we just wanted to make it easy for you. If you want to purchase it, you can. Again, you don't have to. The guide will just be in your inbox. Give it like 60 seconds and it'll be there. And if it's not, just comment back and we'll send it right to you. So no problem.
Right. Yeah. Just go check your email. So Renee drops a comment, says, so Anne says, are amla berries available whole? The answer is yes. If you go to an Indian grocery store, you can find the amla berries whole. Try it by all means.
Don't do it.
Let us know how it tastes. It's tough. Renee says it works, which is awesome. And I'd seen some other comments earlier in the thread that people were saying that I'm using it every day and that it seems to be working significantly. So
Cool.
If you go onto the Amla Green website and you just, my favorite thing to do when I'm bored is I just look at the reviews from real people. Okay. We have thousands of reviews on the website. And if you just read the reviews from people, you're just like, wait, that happened to you? That happened to you? Your cholesterol went down, your blood pressure went down, you have more energy, you feel like you're losing weight, you're more active, you're sleeping better, your brain's working more better. And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Like this stuff is actually very real.
I have a couple other, pieces of info on coffee, but honestly, I want to talk about versatility, Robbie, because I think that, everyone knows you eat a lot of delicious salads. And I'm guessing that in your dressings, you might use the hibiscus or something like that. Can you talk about the versatility of the actual product itself that comes, in the canisters? How do you use it on a daily basis for your salads and other things?
Absolutely. So that is one of the best parts about this product, and I'm sure maybe you guys have seen some of the recipes we provide, but there is a lot of different ways to get it in. We just want you to develop the habit of getting in consistently. Consistently is the benefits. That's what I experienced with my Dawn phenomenon getting basically eliminated because of consistently getting in my daily dose of Amla Green. So I will mix it in just water. So the number one way I do it is it's in a smoothie. I put it in a smoothie every morning. If I don't have the smoothie, I then either mix it in water or I get it in a dressing at dinner time. You can also just put it in a soup. You can also just put it in a dish you're making. Like you can hide it if you want to, but it's the habit of getting Indian gooseberries into your body every day. That is where the benefit comes in. And so that's what we created here. And that's why we provide a bunch of recipes and all these options for people to get this in their body in a habit that works for you. And the request for coffee came, and now we have another way for you to get Amla in your body.
Beautiful. Folks, you'll see across the bottom that if you just type the words coffee, we will send you our free coffee guide. You do not have to have the Amla Green coffee in order to have this guide, but you definitely want to have the pumpkin spice, especially with fall just around the corner, school starting, the temperatures will soon begin to drop. I know that's hard to believe with the national heat wave going on, but it's true. And there's an opportunity for you to grab that for 50% off with any purchase of coffee. So make sure you get in there, try the coffee. You get 50% off pumpkin spice or the elderberry immunity. That is our offer. The last thing I want to do is, I know we had one quick question. Bess, go ahead and put that question up there. And anyone else that has questions, just let me know. I thought coffee is bad for you because of the caffeine and acidity. Interesting. Cyrus, you have a PhD in biochemistry. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I have some thoughts on it, but I'm not the ultimate, authority on this subject. Number one, let me go backwards here. About 10 years ago, I went into this idea of learning about coffee with my preconceived notion, what's called a confirmation bias, that coffee is bad for you. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to believe that was a true statement. So I started reading the research on coffee, and I was like, why are there all these like positive benefits that come along with coffee? Like improved cognition, improved digestive health, oddly enough. And there's actually some studies that demonstrate that people who drink coffee actually live longer. And I was like, come on, where are you coming up with this stuff? So I read the papers and I was like, wow, like this is actually some pretty convincing science. And then I started to change the way that I thought about coffee, because I actually read the original papers, or a lot of the papers that were describing the true metabolic benefit of it, right? So if you have a caffeine sensitivity and you choose not to put caffeine into your body, that is totally fine. That is your personal choice. You do not have to put caffeine into your body by any stretch of imagination, okay? I know plenty of people that just say, oh, when I drink caffeine in the morning, I can't go to sleep 16 hours later and it gets in the way of me actually being able to stay asleep at night. Totally cool. Don't drink caffeine. You could choose a decaffeinated version of coffee if you choose, okay? But there are some people who are also saying, oh, well, it's the acidity that's bad for me, right? And again, I think that is a highly personal conclusion that you may or may not be able to come to, depending on how it interacts with your digestive system and how that affects you personally. I know plenty of people, and again, from the research, there's plenty of people who are drinking coffee on a daily basis who are getting tremendous benefit from it. And the acidity can affect individuals differently. If you guys know anything beyond what I just said, by all means, tell me.
Here's what I know. I know that I listen to a lot of like health and wellness podcasts, and if you have a dependency on caffeine so much so that if you do not drink it, you have migraines, or if you do not drink it, you cannot stay awake. I think that is something to be addressed, right? But from what I hear in the podcast is when you wake up in the morning, the very first thing you should do is get out into the world, get out into the sunlight, and let that very early morning sun that is not having so many harmful UV rays like into your eyes, not looking directly at the sun, just letting the sunlight into your eyes. And I've also heard that delaying caffeine intake by 90 minutes upon waking is incredibly beneficial because it helps your circadian rhythm establish that it is morning and lets your body wake up. I am not a biochemistry PhD, but just in a short Google search again, it's talking about adenosine levels. Does that make sense to you, Cyrus? Do you know what I'm talking about there? Does that have any sense to it, or I don't know?
I'd have to read, honestly, I'd have to read the research when it comes to actually adenosine. Yeah. So,
yeah.
But again, I do know one thing, that coffee is a highly individual, basically the results of drinking coffee are highly individual. So here's what I recommend we can do. We're going to do a separate session on literally just acidity. Like, what is acidity? How do you measure acidity? What's high acidity? What's low acidity? What does it do to your body? How does it affect gastric reflux? Yada, yada, yada. Let's go into detail about that because there's a lot to talk about. And I feel like if we try to talk about it right now, we're not going to do it justice.
Yeah, of course.
And just to add to this topic, we don't have enough time, guys, but if you want, we also have a bunch of science that we covered on this exact topic in the book, Mastering Diabetes. It's on page 227. It says, "What about caffeinated beverages?" And so you're welcome to read that. And it's very fascinating science, just like Cyrus said. And I think at the end of the day, what we're really proud of here is we give you options. At Amla Green, if you choose, I don't want to do caffeine. I want to stay caffeine free. Amazing. Go ahead and start drinking hibiscus. That's my preferred way to get into Amla berries. If you're like a lot of people here, and a lot of people who answered our survey, Corey, said, I love coffee. It's a big part of my life. I enjoy it. Why not get Indian gooseberries with your coffee and make some of these amazing recipes? Like, let's do it.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, everybody, we are here every week, and we will be back next week. We will get the acidity discussion in an episode in the future. But ultimately, right now, I'm going to remind you of just 3 quick things. 1, if you comment with the word coffee, we will send you the free guide. The guide is tons of coffee recipes. You do not have to have Amla Green coffee in order to do it. The second thing is, if you do want to purchase coffee, it's there for you. There are ways that you can save up to 50%. You choose on how much you need, how much coffee you consume, and how much you want to save. In addition to that, if you purchase coffee at any level today, you'll be able to save 50% on either one of these. 90 servings of immunity and pumpkin spice. They are decaf as well. And so it's no added caffeine, just added amla and added awesome taste. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate all of you for tuning in. We will be here next week. Much love to you and your families. And guys, it's always a pleasure.
Super cool being here. We want to get your feedback. So if you pick something up, just let us know. How do you like it? What do you think of the flavor? What do you think of the taste? What do you think of the experience? This stuff matters. So let us know. And we're always here for you guys.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.